Just doing a little chart on SDL for my old mate Rob. Um, okay, this is the full view of it, and one of the most important things is this purple line. That's the 200-day simple moving average. And the other one is the blue, okay, blue and also the yellow. They are the 50-day moving average and the 30-day moving average, respectively. And what we see happened here is we had a bump up or a cross, or what we call a cross. The smaller ones came down and went up through the 200 and formed here what we call a golden cross, okay? And then the stock just went basically parabolic from there, okay, as you can see. The interesting thing to note, there's only that's only happened on this chart 3 times. So it's here, here, and here, okay? This time the setup here is very similar to what it was back over here, okay, with a long flat sort of a spell, as compared to here where it was basically coming off a bottom, okay, and the 200 was a bit of a hindrance more than anything at the start. But okay, it didn't really get its act going there, okay, but now we've gone more parabolic again. So whether we're doing another similar move to what we've done here in the past, we're just going to have a look at, and I think there's probably a pretty good chance, okay. Repeating ranges is what this stock does, as you can see, from there to there, and then that little one again is basically repeated in there, okay. It's repeated here, okay. It's repeated back here, okay, from there up to there, and it's repeated once again on this run here. So it's a pretty safe bet that it's going to repeat that range, okay. It also repeats bigger ranges, okay, as it's done here, okay, in the past, okay, and it repeated it again back over here, okay. So it does tend to repeat what it does, and it's also done a bigger range, but I haven't seen it repeat it bar on the way down, okay. So I just bear that in mind. I've just put this little black line in here along these tops just to see if it does come into play, okay. So, but the important thing is the golden cross on the MAs here. Now we're talking this on the daily chart, okay. So this is the golden cross on the daily chart. It has happened, okay, and as it did back here, okay. The thing to look at now is just our fib levels, and because of this little closing high in here, we picked our top being up around this range here on the 161, okay. So the next thing to look at with these levels, and at the moment it had gone through that last fib level here, okay, and now it's come back through it. It needs to retest it and get through it again, okay. What you'd be looking at here, I'd say, for some horizontal support would, now that was old resistance becomes support, so that would be your support level basically along there, okay, is what I'd be thinking. I'll just turn that into a blue line so we know what the hell it is when we go in closer to the chart and have a look at it, okay. So you'd be expecting that to be your support, and it's also pretty close to that old high there as well. I'm just going to zoom in now a little bit closer and just see what's going on here as we've had a look. And as we've seen with all stocks that go parabolic, it's been trading outside the Bollinger Bands, and it's done its 1, 2, 3 in a row, okay. Once they do 3, they always tend to come back. It's very rare for them to do 4 or do anything else like that. I'm just going to put a line on this so we can see it a little bit better. What this is a set of speed and resistance lines, and what they have done is, once it's sort of basically got outside the speed and resistance lines, that's just far too parabolic. So these things are a good gauge that it's going to come back, and it's going to give you a rough idea of where they're going to come back to. As you can see, it's formed a nice little bottom just in here and stayed with them and within them again, and is tending to stay within them here. So, that's pretty good. So what I'm going to do now is just stick another little set of fibs, which will be the local fibs, which we'd run from where it took off up to our high, which is just out of your range there, okay? And we can see it's come back and it's bounced off 50%, pretty good. Okay, so that's a nice little 50% retracement. That's what you'd basically think with, you'd look at with most stocks. They come back to their 50%. Now, the other way of also picking tops there as well is we have this level along here is where it's taken off from. If we did what we'd be looking at here is a fib projection level. Okay, so let's get the fib projections. Okay, and take them up to where it would have taken off from there. Okay, and that gives us levels here. There's our 161 again. Okay, this 100% is sort of might be a little bit of support at one sort of stage. Might be, might not be. But the thing to look at here is with that is where it's going to go to next. Okay, and we'd think that it'd repeat this range again, and it'd go to the next lot of fibs, which would be a 261. And if we have a look at our repeating range and take it from basically our 50% up, or where it breaks from, we're going to get pretty close to our fibs. Also our range as well, so you'll be looking at 36 cents or something like that. And then from there on, the ranges will go up, basically the way to look at it. And then you've got this here is a fib from the 261. Well, hold that, can that. Anyway, quick look at the weekly chart is what I want to do now. The weekly chart again as well, it hasn't golden crossed yet, but the 200-day moving average hit should be support here now, okay? Basically around about 22 cents. It is about to do a golden cross on a weekly chart as well, so that's pretty amazing stuff. Golden cross on a daily, then on a weekly. The other thing to look at here is the indicators on the weekly chart still have a lot further to run, okay, is what I'd be thinking. The MACD up here has done a little breakout, and our DEMA down the bottom on the weekly, okay, has bottomed up. It's come up to 55. They can run to 80, 70, 80 quite easily, as you see before. It even ran higher, 85. So I think it's looking pretty bullish, this stock, to say the least. I'm just going to try and quickly grab the daily indicators, which are just here, but I think I'm going to run out of time. Again, MACD could do a little divergence, run up from here. Okay, same thing on the DEMA as well. So I think the stock's quite bullish, and I think it's got a lot more to go. So, but that's only my idea. Okay, so yeah, I'd just be looking at it. I reckon it's a goodie, and long term, you look pretty good.